When I think of comfort food, I think of my mom. Her homemade meat lasagna is my favorite recipe, and I'm so happy to share it with you. Before we start, we need to remove the excess liquid from the ricotta cheese. I've placed 2 pounds of cheese right in a strainer over a bowl. I'm letting that rest for 30 minutes. Then we'll toss out the excess liquid. While that's resting, I'm going to cook my lasagna noodles. Here's a tip: cook the lasagna for just half the time. This way they'll be a little al dente and you don't have to worry about them getting too soggy when you bake the lasagna. I put the cooked noodles in a strainer and I ran them under cold water. This just stops them from cooking more than you'd like. And now I'm lining them up on a kitchen towel. Just make sure that they're not touching each other. Then they will be ready when it's time to assemble the lasagna. Let's get the filling started. I'm mixing the 2 pounds of drained ricotta, 2 eggs which I've whisked, a half a cup of chopped Italian parsley. I use about 4 or 5 minced garlic cloves, and of course salt and pepper to taste. Give that a good mix. This is my mom's delicious Sunday gravy. Ladle that on the bottom of the pan. You can find this recipe right on my website. Now it's time to layer the lasagna noodles. Next is putting the ricotta cheese on the noodles. We're using a tablespoon, and you want to place the dollops about every 2 inches. There we go. Now sprinkle mozzarella cheese right on top of the ricotta. Now you can use grated Parmesan. I love pecorino romano, so that's what I'm putting on today. We're going to repeat this step 2 more times, ending with a layer of lasagna noodles. Another layer of sauce. Now this time, make sure to get in those corners really well. Otherwise, when you bake your lasagna, you'll get some crunchy corners. Look at that. Now garnish with a little bit more grated Parmesan or pecorino. If you want to, you can even add a little bit more mozzarella on the top. I make it how my grandma made it. There we go. Cover the lasagna loosely with foil. Place it in a 350-degree oven and bake it for 40 minutes. Then remove the foil and bake it for another 10. Take it out of the oven and let it rest for 5 or 10 minutes before serving. The great thing about this recipe is it serves up to 12 people. The other great thing is it always brings smiles on the faces of my family and friends who are seated at the table.